Let me ask you a simple question. Should every character in an asym be balanced? Most players would instinctively argue yes, which I can understand, but I would personally argue that perfect balance is often the enemy of fun in asym games. It goes through a pipeline. The best asyms, right? They have the most memorable experiences. You get the best memories while playing them. And those memorable experiences come from playing unique characters with unique movesets. But these unique characters with these unique movesets are hard to balance. They're difficult to balance. And the issue is, in the pursuit of chasing this balance, it often removes what made the characters exciting in the first place. Now, what I believe to be the biggest problems with modern asyms is by far stamina management. It's not in every game, but in the games that it's in, it definitely detracts from the experience. I believe that heavy stamina management is an attention hog at best, but infuriating at worst. So, here's the main thing. Stamina often limits decision making instead of expanding upon it, because your movement is tied to a literal bar. It makes chases reliant on how well you can conserve a resource that really only punishes new users heavily and deters them from getting into asyms in the first place. Players literally spend more time watching a bar than engaging with opponents, and literally running should be the least of your worries and in any asym. Here, I'm going to give a few examples of more engaging skill expression so you can contrast that with how bad stamina management is in an asym. Here's some examples of engaging skill expression: mind games, prediction, positioning, map awareness, and ability usage. Those are all fun and engaging to go by, but walking because your bar is empty or winning a chase just because you could run and path better is just tedious and unfair. My second problem with modern asyms is that they tend to lock characters or movesets behind gameplay. New players should be able to experience the fun parts of a game quickly. This is not a retro game platform. You want to convince people to stick around in your game as soon as possible. Grinding for characters also creates an imbalance between new and veteran players. And guess what? If someone joined a game for a character, they shouldn't need 20 hours to try them, because most of the people who join the game are not willing to spend that much time just to try a single character moveset. Progression should unlock personalization and cosmetics, not fun. Now here is what I think every asym needs in their characters. I'm splitting this structure into two pillars, but please note, these are for supports and sentinels and the like. Survivalists, though, are completely useless, and I think they have no place in any asym. Participation should be rewarded, not emoting in a corner all match. So here's the first pillar, the high skill ceiling characters. These are the characters that people play for hundreds and hundreds of hours. They're hard to master, and they have endless room for optimization. They have unique mechanics, and most importantly, they can dominate a lobby in the right hands, but only in the right hands. They should feel unfair when mastered. But that does not mean they're broken, just powerful enough that their mastery is rewarded greatly. Here's some examples that I am talking about. Comprehensible mechanics that can be complex and still understood. Movement techniques. Advanced mind games. You know a character is good when they create guides, montages, competitive scenes, and overall long-term engagement. But you also want these beginner-friendly characters to make sure that newer players get into the game. And the issue is, these developers who make asyms tend to make one big mistake. They make beginner characters boring. Beginner characters should be easy to understand. easy to execute and still fun, but it can't be able to beat out a high skill character who's being played well. This is how you create those broken characters. A good beginner character isn't weak. They're a simplified version of a harder archetype. Here's some examples. An easy trapper, advanced trapper. Easy chase character versus advanced chase character. Easy support versus advanced support, but not quite the same area of gameplay. For example, the easy chase character can have a weaker stun. For example, 3 seconds flat out, while the advanced chase character has to earn a 4-second stun through sustained chase, maybe offering some ragdoll to the character so map awareness can give the stun more power. The goal here is that new players get the fantasy immediately, while veterans have more advanced versions that naturally appeal to them as they get more skilled, for the bigger potential reward. Now here's my main point on why I think balance isn't always good. Before you get all salty, please note that I am not arguing for broken characters. I believe broken characters are inherently bad. I'm arguing against flattening character identities. When every character is equally strong and equally balanced, the kits become similar, the risks disappear, the strengths get reduced, and the weaknesses get removed. Eventually, everyone feels the same. If everyone has the same skill ceiling and fun factor, then there will be just 1 or 2 reasonable choices, and that setup is just not fun. My favorite game to use for this is Forsaken. Let me frame this carefully. Forsaken is subjectively bad to me and most people right now, yes, but it's not that it sucks. It's that it shows the risk of over-prioritizing balance. Forsaken was originally a hotspot because of how different the Asym was. It had flaws, yes, but it also had memorable characters, a grip on casual fun playstyles that all felt unique. But over time, as the game got balanced, and notably through reworks, the stronger skill potential characters were eventually mellowed out, turned into more of a beginner-friendly base of characters, at the cost of making veterans either frustrated at the lack of teamwork or bored, not seeing the major payoff for their day seeped into the game. Remember, unbalanced does not equal bad, and balance does not equal fun. Now, my favorite Forsaken character of all time has to be pre-reworked Dusukar, and this is why he worked. Dusukar was a character with 2 moves, a shield and a zappy thingamatron. I forgot the name for both. His zap could hit either the killer or survivor, slowing them down or speeding them up respectively depending on the situation. His shield is a 10-second shield that cuts off shortly after the Dusukar stops maintaining line of sight with the chase, which is hard because upon zapping and shielding, you are slowed to a halt. Every move gives you a huge speed disadvantage, and on top of all this, he's cute. Now, a beginner could indeed use Dusukar, since learning his moveset is easy considering his range. But an expert? To be an expert meant you could carry the whole entire lobby. This was the character where map positioning mattered more than anything. Taking note of all the map nuances to set yourself up for chase was essential. And when you're in the comfy position for a lifetime, you weren't done. You are constantly able to zap, 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 engage in the action some more. You could do it from far, through walls, but only if you were able to hit those zaps. You were a menace of impact through that small, tiny hitbox. Otherwise, you were dead weight. These good Asym characters in general create emotions, power, tension, momentum, and clutch moments. This version of Dusukar made me feel all of that. The tension of carrying the entire server on my back, clutching up at the last second, just to ensure my fellow teammates don't have to be bored in the lobby, it's a win-win, and it was so addicting. Now, if you weren't paying attention to the entire video, I'll pay attention to this section right here, because I'm going to combine everything to see what I would put in a perfect, ideal Asym. First off, no excessive stamina management, because players focus on gameplay, not bars. All characters will be available early, so the fun starts immediately. We're gonna have beginner-friendly roster options, so we have characters that are easy to learn. We're gonna have high skill ceiling roster options with hundreds of hours of mastery potential. We're gonna have strong character identities and movesets, so everybody has a niche that they can fall into. And remember, some imbalance is acceptable as long as counterplay exists, skill matters, and characters remain unique. And above all, fun comes before perfect fairness. The goal of an asym shouldn't be making every character equally good. It should be making every character memorable. I'd rather have a game with a few crazy, flawed, unique characters than a perfectly balanced game where everyone feels the same. Well, one final note, the illusion of power matters. Many asym games forget that players often pick a character because they want to feel powerful, scary, clever, or unstoppable. When balance updates repeatedly shave off every strong edge, the fantasy itself starts disappearing. But yeah, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. See ya.